Hey, David here with a review of the WLtoys Q696-A. The Q696 is WLtoys. It's one of their newer drones. It's nice thing about this drone is that it has a 2-axis gimbal built into it here. I don't know if you can see it here, and it's pretty cool. You can see it works really nice. It's a coreless gimbal. It's not brushless, but it works pretty good. So let's just go ahead and you can see the controller here. I got a controller cam down on the screen here. On the inset, you can see it's got a takeoff land, a return to home, a headless mode. It's got gimbal up, gimbal down, and then you take your picture or your video. And then up here you got your rate control, high or low is all you have, and a flip button. I'm not going to try the flip with the camera on it. And then you also have a FPV monitor as well. Alright, so let me go ahead and try this takeoff and land. The takeoff button here, and we'll get it in the air. And we'll continue to talk about it as it flies. Okay. It's pretty windy. It always is out where I live out here. You can see the drone is moving around on its own quite a bit here. But it's just kind of the nature of the beast around here. I live in a very hilly area of Florida, mind you. I realize most people think that Florida has no hills, and for the most part it doesn't, but where I happen to live, it's pretty windy. Okay, I'm just letting it sit there on its own. You can see it's drifting around quite a bit in the wind. One of the things I noticed about this drone is that it tends to yaw on its own, which is a little bit of an annoyance. It doesn't keep stable. You can see it's yawing on its own. I'm not doing it. You can see down in the hair, I'm not adjusting the yaw. And I've never had that problem with other drones even in this area. But anyway, let's go on to it a little bit. I'm going to fly it up high, and I'm going to get close to it here so you can see the gimbal in operation. So you can see as I move left and right here, the gimbal is very smooth. I haven't balanced the props, and I've noticed that it does have a little bit of a vibration in it. I don't know that it's any worse than any other, cheap toy grade. And these things are cheap. This one lists retail at about $135, and that's at GearBest. You can get them at GearBest for probably $115 or so. If you Google GearBest coupons, you can easily get a $15 or $20 discount on these without any problem whatsoever. And that's what I would recommend. I think this one was about $115 right now if you Google a GearBest coupons. I'm not going to provide a link. I don't want to get involved in that, but if you do look it up on Google, you will find them. Okay, so the takeoff works pretty good. The return to home, all it basically is if you have it in headless mode, it'll return back in the general direction. I think the return to home function has been demoed ample times, and there's really no reason to do that. But anyway, you can see the gimbal working pretty nicely. It's very smooth. It's a coreless gimbal, as I mentioned. It's not gear driven like on, for example, the Q303, which has a gimbal, a 1-axis gimbal, but it's a gear driven gimbal. It's incredibly inefficient. It's just not very good. It's choppy and it's just rough. This one is really quite smooth. You can see it's darn near professional looking. I mean, obviously it's not a gimbal of the quality of a DJI or the Karma or something like that, but it's still pretty good. I mean, this drone retails on GearBest for about $75 or so if you get it just the standard version with no gimbal or camera, and with the camera it's about $130, so it's about $70 I think for just the gimbal and the camera. Now they don't currently sell it. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked around. I don't see it anywhere, but I'm gonna go ahead and start the video now. So anyway, let me try some let me just fly it down, and you can see on the display, I'm gonna go ahead and fly her down a little bit. Actually, let me change the mode here. It's currently in low mode. put it in high. Probably will help with the wind a little bit. Yeah, it's much more responsive now. Let me fly her down. You can kind of see the speed this way a little bit. Fly it back towards me here. Just fly it around a little bit so you guys can see kind of the speed. I mean, it's not bad. You know, it's flying pretty good. I mean, it's not a, you know, it's no race drone by no means. And I'm trying to fly around so you can get a little bit of a look at the telemetry data, which I will go over in a little bit. It's not a bad look. You know, it's not bad. It looks pretty good. I pretty much have to fly in high, and that's full throttle. So whatever speed you're getting there, that's all she'll do. That's about all it'll do. I like it. I mean, I like it. It's the video's a little choppy. So get away from the tree there. You know, it's not a bad drone. I mean, I like the way, and the FPV monitor's pretty decent. You know, it's not fast. It's not a very fast drone for sure. You can see me there in front of the barn. It's not real fast. You do have the ability to adjust the, I really don't want to get too high. I'm a little concerned that the wind here is really, it's already pushing it around quite a bit. But so you can see, I can turn the camera down. You know, it doesn't have a smooth operation up and down. It's sort of it's not very smooth. Like, I can go up. It's kind of has about like 4 positions. Now when I move it down, it moves pretty smooth. It doesn't jerk down, but it doesn't have, it's like that's one button there. So it's got maybe 4, 5, 6 clicks it'll do. So like, for instance, and it'll go all the way down. That's kind of the cool thing. Like right now it's pointing straight down, which is interesting. I mean, for a drone of this kind. So it's pretty neat. Let me run it down here, turn it around. Again, that's full throttle. It doesn't have a lot of throttle. So, you know, you're not going to get, you know, you're not going to get you know, you're not going to get this kind of throttle that you'd like perhaps to have. But, you know, for something in this price range, you know, it's pretty good. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, if you might be wondering why I'm staying in the same line here, and that's mainly because if I get outside this little lot here, it really starts to get blown around in the wind. And that, like I said, is because it just doesn't have that much power. I'm full throttle here, and that's all it'll do. So you're not going to get a lot of stick out of it. But, you know, being a camera bird like it is, and that's really what it's, you know, that's really, you know, that's really what it's for. It's a camera bird. And it's starting to beep, so I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to bring it in here and take it down. It has about, they say about a 13-minute flight time. But, you know, I don't know. I think a lot of that depends on, but I'm going to bring it in here a little bit. And then do a, it will do a land, and a couple of times I've landed it. And it lands pretty hard, so I suggest you bring it in, kind of get it where you want it, and then if you want to do the, you can see it landed pretty hard. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the video down here.